Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
What do? I do shit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Very good, very good. How you doing?
Very well. We were up a bit late last night doing another show.
Yeah,
But
it's all in a day's work.
All in a long day's work.
Yeah. I was glad. At least it was a show who knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know.
The debrief.
The debrief, yes. All things Detroit, kind of what's going on. And Seth and Michael, nice enough to have us by last night. And I believe that show is posted now.
It is indeed.
If you'd like to hear, if you don't get enough hearing of Jay and I and Big E, and you want to hear us with someone else asking the questions, what is it, the debrief?
TheDebriefDetroit.com, and if you go to about the 46-minute mark, 46:01 to be exact,
Yeah.
that's our portion.
That's our segment. I believe we did 2 segments with them, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, they were they got in contact with us and were like, "Hey, we see you guys are coming up on 1,000 episodes. Would you mind coming by and talking about it, seeing how you got there?" And
So we said, sure.
sure,
We'd be
it's the
delighted.
least we can do. We had to turn down interviews with USA Today, The Freep, and Detroit News. To
We
make
need to
that
be
happen.
selective. We just don't have the time.
Yeah, and as podcasters, we figured we'd go with other podcasters. So it was thanks to them for having us. And if you want to hear it, the debriefdetroit.com. And like Jay said, the 46-minute mark is where we pick up. Well, the Lions got their coach.
He did. Matt
Yeah.
Patricia, as long rumored.
Yeah.
Worst kept secret in town, right?
I was thinking about it earlier, Jay, and I'm like, okay, what's my angle on Matt Patricia?
It's the beard, dude.
It's the beard. Is it the engineering background? Is it the work ethic? Nah, none of it matters. You don't know. And I think you nailed it. Early on, you were like, you know what? I just wish they'd get a guy with NFL coaching experience. Because until you've got that, you just don't know.
No, you don't.
You don't know what a guy's going to be like.
And
maybe he's great. Maybe, but who knows?
And, it's reasonable to say, well, he's on the Bill Belichick staff, and therefore Belichick, who's this wizard of a coach, perhaps the
Right.
greatest ever, must know what he's doing if he has this guy on his staff. But at the same time, his coaching tree, if you go through the years, is not real good in terms of grooming head coach material. So
Who was the fat guy that went to Notre Dame as the coach?
Charlie Weiss.
Charlie Weiss.
Brutal.
Wasn't it? Yeah, brutal. And that happens all the time. You see it all the time where, you take a specialty guy and then you all of a sudden he's running the whole tree, and it's just you just don't know.
Yeah, and everybody's digging for an angle, the whole rocket scientist thing. Oh, this guy, if he wasn't coaching, he'd for sure be working on rocket boosters right now. Just engineering, aeronautical engineering is what he was
He
in.
liked planes.
He did. He's got a big beard. He puts a pencil behind his ear, and he wears a hat backwards. So is he going to be a good coach? I don't know.
That would say so. I mean, if looking goofy is the sign of a good coach, we've got one.
Yeah, and all the discussion for the past week is, does he have to shave the beard? Does he have to turn his hat around?
Probably.
Everybody's just grasping. You don't know.
You don't know shit. Collinsworth went on record. Did you see that just before the Super Bowl saying, so people are like, yep, let it be known, let the record show. The first one to say that the Lions are going to be going places is Chris Collinsworth. And
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Chuckled.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's hard. It's hardly a prediction that is like ballsy. I mean, they've got talent.
They're not
loaded.
that far off. You know? They do have a lot of talent.
I mean, I love these people and it was like I was watching like, oh, you've got all these head coaching jobs opening up in the offseason. What's the gig? What's the one? And it's like the Giants, no. The Colts, no. I mean, you've got a premier quarterback there, but the Lions are loaded.
Wouldn't imagine there's many open positions with a quarterback of that ilk.
Yeah.
And, coming off, like, the criticism of the Jim Caldwell firing was that the guy was over 500, but that was also the problem with him, is he was just over 500, just, 8 games over or
and
whatever.
Black.
Sure.
So, we had to cut him loose because of
that.
that, too. Had that going against him and all. Yeah. So, anyway.
We'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully good things ahead, but, I hope when he does his presser, people ask him about Malcolm Butler. I'm dying to know this. This Malcolm Butler story is driving me nuts.
Yeah, I mean, everything they're saying, I guess, is that it was a curfew issue. But if it's simply a curfew issue,
And weed.
yeah, right. I was going to say there's got to be something beyond that, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. You have to punish a guy. If you set rules, it has to have teeth. Otherwise, you have no credibility. It's just parenting 101. But
That
why
usually
don't
applies
you?
to second stringers, though.
That's what I was gonna say, man. Like at some point in the game when you're getting gashed, you go, okay, he's punted. You know, he's sat out for a half now.
Yeah, he cried.
We're still getting gashed.
Yeah.
We've made our point. Now let's make him. Let's let him make his on the field.
One of his buddies used to play with Malcolm on the Patriots. I think he's since retired, but he took to like Instagram and did some videos talking about how if you're not one of Belichick's guys, if you're not one of his favorites, and every team the coach has his favorites, and Malcolm wasn't one of those. But I mean, to me, it's like the whole win at all cost mentality is everything. And just like you said, when it's like you're giving up record numbers on defense, why wouldn't you try and throw him in there? I mean, he played more snaps than any player on your roster this year.
Really?
And then he doesn't take a single defensive snap in the Super Bowl? You're punishing the whole team at that point.
Maybe it was more than weed, Mike. Maybe more of the story will come out.
I don't care what it was. Maybe if he was banging Belichick's wife.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe something along those lines.
He walks in. So, anyway, I don't know. It's just a weird story. And everyone's kind of like, oh, yeah, we just wanted to put the best guys out there to give ourselves the best chance to win.
Yeah.
And, it's like, okay, well, that's bullshit. That doesn't make any sense at all. So I want to know more about that. And I don't know if Patricia can say anything, but, yeah, weird. Moving on to other things. Justin Trudeau, to me, is, Jay, the gift that never stops giving. He is, if you don't know, he's the Prime Minister of Canada. He's the young, handsome guy with the dreamy eyes that the women go crazy for.
Well, he has the pedigree, too, for the whole Margaret Trudeau bipolar chick, his mom, and everything that went behind that. She was on the Studio 54 scene. She was banging Mick Jagger.
Was she really?
Yeah, there's just this, mystique about the Trudeaus.
Yeah.
And so he was kind of the chosen one.
Well, he's this young, upstart politician, with kind of the skinny jeans and all that kind of stuff, and handsome. And
his head's way too big, by the way, but whatever.
It is. I wasn't going to say it, but now that you've mentioned it, I agree. But he is known for just being progressive to a different level. I mean, he is so woke. I don't know if it's possible for him to sleep. That's how woke he is. And he took it to a new level during a Q&A at MacEwan University in Edmonton over the weekend. A young woman from the World Mission Society of God stood to ask a question about volunteering. And I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but I think she was talking about, of all the awards we've won, we haven't won one for charitable donations through the church or something like that. And have you seen this video yet, Jay? No. Buckle up. This is for you. Who's playing it? E, are you playing it, or is Jay playing it? Jay, you got it.
I don't. I wasn't given this one.
I didn't see it. I don't know. I didn't see that video, dude.
Oh,
I remember when I said there's two videos here, Ian.
Yeah.
You really have to pay attention.
I know. I didn't see it.
Really have to pay attention. All we need is the audio. So,
well, here.
Maybe we can give E a little hold music and.
Interesting, E.
Any plans for this weekend, Jay? You got anything? I'm about going skiing or something, maybe. I have skis.
You were gonna go skiing?
E, just look up your video. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I've got skis and boots and poles, and it is the winter. Not crazy about the slopes around here, but what about it?
So it's the town hall.
Yeah, I think it's like 51 seconds long. Oh, did Jay find it?
I got 1:41.
Okay. I'll indulge.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Pleasure to be here at MacEwan University as well. Thank you, Madam President. And thank you all for coming out tonight. This is one of the fundamental elements of democracy, dialogue between citizens and the folks they've elected.
You can fast forward 30 seconds.
It's the woman in pink.
Is something that
maybe.
contribute as quickly as possible. Because someone who's a medical professional
Head's too big.
who's come here and not working as a medical professional,
But he's got his
not only
sleeves rolled
is,
up. He's doing the work of the
a lack
people.
going to work,
here,
Jay.
but we've taken that person away from the medical profession wherever they were around the world. And
Blah,
it's a net
blah,
loss
God,
to
he's
the
just a
world, but quite
natural, isn't he?
frankly,
Sure
Canada
is.
doesn't want to be. Human trafficking is wrong and terrible, and if you have
he's against human
experienced
trafficking.
human
That's great.
trafficking, I am terribly sorry, and we need to do a better job of making sure that nobody
Who am I
goes
looking
through
for,
what
man?
you
What's she wearing?
suffered through. The level of responsibility that various governments have had and municipal.
Government, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
I've been dealing with this for 7 years.
Okay. What I will make sure we do is we take your name afterward.
Yeah, no, it is, but there's a specific part. Good enough, E. Search. Find it. There you go. Hit play.
Drag.
Professional show today.
It's not good enough because I knew it wasn't going to be it. No.
So that's why we came here today to ask you to also look into the policies that religious charitable organizations have in our legislation so that it can also be changed, because maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind. So we'd like you to look into
We
that.
like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind.
Seems an odd place to end that, but whatever. Yeah, he had to stop her to mention that it's people kind, not
my God.
mankind. Are you too woke at that point? I think you're too woke.
Yeah, if you have that preference and you personally want to say that, but you got to halt everything. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up. Back up. Back up. It's people kind.
As if that's going to be a thing that kicks in now and we're all going to agree to. People kind. Doesn't mankind reference all of humanity? Isn't that the point? It doesn't reference 50% of people.
I imagine it does, Mike.
Senators, by the way, passed legislation to make Canada's national anthem more gender neutral recently. I don't know if you saw that, but 30-year battle going on, and the move is set to change the second line of the anthem. I wish Kadog was here. He could really break this down for us. But the line that is so offensive says something along the lines of, "In all thy sons command."
That's a problem.
Yeah, so they're changing that to "in all of us command."
Okay.
So it's more inclusive for everybody.
Mankind means human beings considered collectively, the human race. So I think pretty much covers it.
It doesn't say just like men specifically.
So like human, it's like Hugh people. Honestly.
You could do it for anything with man in it. Charles Manson, people's son, but
Charles People's son. Oh,
but son is
Charles People's son and
people
daughter.
child.
People child.
Mass murderer Charles People Child. Known serial killer Charles People Child. Good Lord. What are we doing?
It's gone too far, Mike, officially.
That's one, though, that's going to get you in circles. Like, people are going to now scour the net for old speeches he's giving where he's talked about mankind or something, because I guarantee you he has.
Those in glass houses.
Mm-hmm. And then he's going to be called on Matt, and he's going to have to, like, give some groveling apology. Oh, I was so unwoke at the time.
At the time, I didn't appreciate the offense that people took to this.
Oh, they're just the worst. These people are the fucking worst. It reminded me, and we were watching this a while ago, and it was, what is it, Parliament? Is that what they call their... So
the House of Commons.
Thank you, the House of Commons. And they've got all their people there. They've got their right and their left. And you remember this, Jay, when
he got brushed up against a woman or something, and it became a huge issue.
I think he went on I think we counted 5 apologies that he gave, where there were like 2 apologies that day on the floor, and then he went on a talk show and another talk show and kept apologizing for this egregious act. And the problem was there was a whip. There was a whip that was trying to get through a crowd, and he was stuck. there was one whip blocking him and then some other parliament members blocking. And so Trudeau had had enough of this. And so he went to grab the one whip by the arm and get him through the crowd. And he bumped this woman. I'm not sure.
He made contact.
I'm not sure if she was concussed or how it went. But
she took a dive. She looked like a Honduran soccer player.
But, dude, I started watching. Someone put together, like, it was probably a couple hours there. And they chopped it down to, like, 39 minutes. And I had a ball clicking through this video and watching these people. Like, everyone's got to have their turn at the mic to show how offended they are by this behavior. And it's like, this is everything people despise about you politicians. Everything. So if you have the video there, Jay, we can watch the incident in question, and I'd love to get your take on it if you think that the damage done here was something we need to focus a long time
and whether he's sufficiently cleaned this up. Okay.
Exactly.
So here we go.
Okay.
So he's going to walk down. He's walking down the aisle right now, going for the whip.
See the girl.
She's up against a rail, and he sort of pushes back a little bit. Like,
yeah,
he makes contact with her, for sure. You want me to go back and see that again?
We could. I mean, I don't want to offend people. I mean, violence is never the answer, folks. If you're watching this or listening to us,
let's see it one more time. Now that we know what we're looking at.
Okay.
Here he comes down the aisle. The victim here is in the gray.
Yep.
Grabs the whip, and oh my God! The victim!
Oh,
she's just trying to stand there.
Poor girl. Poor girl.
Look at her. She's like arms crossed. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Now, if this is assault, then every time you've ever been in like a theater or a stadium,
leaving a church, whatever it is,
any sort of quarter where more than 10 people
you brush shoulders with somebody.
Assault! Now, I don't want to make fun of this. Like I said, this is very hard to watch. This video, and unfortunately, I think this woman ended up missing the vote.
Oh no!
Yeah, but I highlighted sometimes. If you wouldn't mind humoring us, Jay, we can hear where this went with the community. So
so here we go. Yep.
Okay.
Peter Julian.
I've been in this house now for 12 years. I have never seen what just transpired on the House of Commons.
Here.
Oh, I'm on that guy's side. Yep. I oppose Trudeau, so I am clapping uproariously.
Here.
We had the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, step into a group of opposition MPs, push aside members of the NDP opposition.
My word. I'm gobsmacked.
I am gobsmacked as well. You want to go to his first apology?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Order. Here.
Order.
Oh boy,
Now he makes the mistake, Jay, as you're queuing that up. As a true woke bae, you know that if you're going to make an apology, it comes with no excuses. The apology stands on its own.
So there's too many excuses here?
Well, he starts to go down that line, and people are hissing at it, you know.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as we were gathered here for a vote,
what a joke.
after the time
kind of looks like your
down,
brother, by the way.
observed our whip walking down the aisle to proceed with the vote. I had noticed that the official opposition whip seemed to be impeded in his progress down the hall. And
no excuses.
I felt that this lacked in respect for Parliament, and
everybody on his team is nodding.
That the official opposition whip is endeavoring to deliver on all of our behalf. So I walked over to encourage the member to come through, and indeed offered my arm extended to help him come through.
Oh, please.
Gaggle of MPs standing
you
there.
brushed against her, and you know it.
You know what you did,
impeding
sir.
our ability to move forward with this important vote. Mr. Speaker,
we're watching sausage being made, aren't we?
Yes, we sure are.
I admit I came in physical
gross.
contact with a number of
excited?
members as I extended
Went an elbow
my arm
rub against
in,
a woman and he came.
including someone behind me who I did not see. I certainly did not intend.
How do you not see her standing there, man?
or impact on anyone. I was simply concerned that, unfortunately...
Well, that's not enough for Pete Van Lorn.
Okay.
Peter, please, Peter.
Yeah, let's head over to Peter.
Peter has to get his say in there, too.
Today, I was witness to an extraordinary example of just such physical intimidation by no less than the first minister of this country. And I witnessed as he strode across the floor with
well
anger
put.
fierce in his eyes.
Anger fierce in his eyes.
Yes.
People behind him. Yes.
Yes. Anger fierce in his eyes.
Harumph.
Order.
Taxpayers are paying for this
this
shit.
bullshit.
Simcoe, pardon me, has the floor.
Towards a group of individuals here, and I think the film will show, but certainly there are many other witnesses here who can speak to what they saw take place. And what took place was the Prime Minister physically grabbing people, elbowing people, pulling them down the way.
And
I'm sure his defense will be is that he was in some way on their behalf asserting their privileges. Well, that is not his job.
Yes.
Oh, well put. Well put, Peter.
Peter, please, Peter.
Peter does know it's on film, right?
Of every
He
member
does.
in this house.
Yeah, it's just a matter of disrespect.
Standing ovation.
1226, Jay,
Yeah.
is where Peter...
That finding of privilege. I will point out that the individual member, and I witnessed it all right in front of me here, and she is, I don't know if she's returned to the house.
No, she's too
But
damaged
she was
for it.
so shaken up by the episode that she left the house. Her ability to participate in
You
this vote
assholes.
was affected and denied.
What a weak person that getting...
Her ability to participate in the vote was affected.
Fashion that is unacceptable in this house. And I think you should make the appropriate finding in the circumstances.
Yeah.
And I will invite
It's
any
got to
of
be
my
have
other
people like
colleagues
Peter who will
witness
stand up
this
and
to
make
provide
that
further
argument.
evidence for the
Absolutely.
House.
What does Nikki Ashton have to say? I'm
let's
sure
see
she'll
here.
be level-headed in this.
Mr. Speaker, because I as well was a witness to what took place
Oh,
here,
as were
something
we.
that I don't think any Canadian could imagine would take place in the House of Commons. I witnessed the Prime Minister walk over and
Brush up against her.
manhandle the whip of the official
Manhandle.
opposition.
Well,
and as he
people
was
handle.
doing so,
Better.
he actually
Probably.
pushed my colleague, a friend of mine, a young woman also who sits in this house, pushed her into the desk, and in fact, as he was pulling away, pulled her along with him, and pushed her physically into this desk, Mr. Speaker. I am ashamed that, as somebody who sits in this house, to have been witness to the person who holds the highest position in our country, the highest elected position.
Such an offense with a C.
Oh, absolutely.
Done such an act in this house. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to say, and we were
One of the guys is like, this is without precedent. I mean, perhaps in the 1800s, maybe things would dissolve into violence of this nature.
What I will say,
Do you want to hear from the victim?
Yeah.
She was strong and brave. Brave is the word that came to mind. Her name is Ruth Ellen
Okay.
Brousseau there, and it's brief, but she addresses the people handling the assault, if you will. Really
I just wanted to express.
I was the member in question.
Oh my God.
I was
Been
standing
through so much.
Brave.
in the center talking to some colleagues.
Hashtag.
I was elbowed in the chest by the Prime Minister. And then I had to leave. It was very overwhelming. And so I left the chamber to go and sit into the lobby. I missed the vote because of this.
It's too bad.
I just wanted to clarify and make sure it's clear to all the members in the House that did happen. Thank you.
I'm glad she spoke.
Let's get back to Peter really quick at the 23-minute mark there, Jay. We're almost done here. I'm just glad this is being addressed, you know? I'm just glad.
Thank you very much,
Van
Mr.
Loren
Speaker. I
again.
believe that we have seen and heard evidence from everybody here that makes it apparent that such an occurrence took place, that the members' privileges
it's on video,
were,
dude.
Violated, as you found in your preliminary finding. And this is a very serious matter, because it isn't something that can be cured by a simple apology. No. We see that the members' privileges were offended to such a degree that her vote was lost. The most fundamental and basic right of representation.
The nods
in our
behind him. Yep.
Western
Absolutely.
Here.
You can't manhandle us out of our votes.
Lastly,
People handle, whatever.
The very last one, I think, is Tracy, who was very shaken by this.
Heartfelt apology.
Nobody should go
I'm
through
not
this
sure we had that, But even the
it
most
wasn't
heartfelt apology is not
joined together, not excusing, not explaining, not making references to soccer matches, but joined together to say a physical confrontation or pushing of any nature is unacceptable in this place.
Can we all agree on that?
Unacceptable across the country.
Here.
Well, I'm glad it came full circle.
The honourable member, the honourable Chief Government Whip.
It's a point of order, I think.
Mr. Speaker, an emotional issue on an emotional day. There's been an unreserved apology from the right honourable member.
Oh, it was not unreserved. No, there was reservation in that apology.
Unreserved apology.
Go to 3706.
May I suggest
Tracy Ramsey. We'll close out with Tracy Ramsey, and I hope she's okay. Can you not? Is not going ahead there?
No, I was there, man.
And the honourable member for Essex.
Go to that very end of the video. I'm sorry, I must have wrote the
Speaker.
time down wrong.
I'm very shaken by the events of
There you go.
today. I've spent most of my adult life fighting against violence against women, fighting against violence in general. When I saw the Prime Minister, someone in this honoured House that we all fought to sit in, to stride across with such purpose
He
towards
strode.
us, to stride across with such purpose. And as he was entering the small circle of us that were standing there, he swore. And he swore and he said, "Get the bleep out of the way."
Probably fuck.
And he pushed his
Maybe
way
heck, though.
into the circle we were standing
I saw
in.
hate in his
He
eyes. I
grabbed
did too.
the opposition House leader, dragged him out, and in so doing, elbowed my colleague quite viciously. She was hurt. She was very
hurt.
physically hurt. And I want no member of this House to stand and say that she was not. And no member of this House to
Here,
judge.
here. Yes. How dare you say she wasn't hurt?
I hope, for their sake and their own credibility, that they did not realize that's being taped, and that they're just
How would they
speaking in
not?
that is so. How can you talk like that when you know it's on film? Go review the film and see how it looks, and then make those stupid.
All I could think was maybe there was a vote that was supposed to happen. They're at the end of the day, and this is their version of a filibuster. Just like chum the waters enough so
Sure.
that the vote
It's
is held
possible.
over a day. But it's like, this is a prime example. I don't care what
Prime
country-
Minister example.
Very well put. This is a Prime Minister example about what people despise about these people. He was physically getting angry. Did you see him?
Yes.
He's like, "Oh my God!"
Shuffling in a seat.
You know, when it's like, well, the violence, there's just no play. It's like, oh, stop it.
I have to say, I know we cannot, none of us can be judged, but how hard someone was hit. But man, doesn't it make you seem really weak that you just got? I mean, you got bumped and you had to leave the chamber and miss a
Opportunism,
vote?
you
At
know,
its
you
finest.
take that opportunity.
I
to
understand,
slant the
but
other
I would
side.
feel like that would make me seem like a pussy.
Sure.
Like you're trying to be equal among the footing of everyone in that thing, and like you get bumped and you're out of the chamber and you can't vote.
There was one black guy that stood up on the other side of the fence there and was like, "Yeah, man, I think we all saw what happened there. It was pretty insignificant." And they're just hissing him down. He was just trying to say, like, "Come on, people,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
really, is this what we're gonna do now?" Oh, it's just awful.
Hey, everybody, please use our affiliate links. You'll see our Amazon and Groupon links above the fold at DetroitCast.com. Go ahead and click on them. Shop away. Doesn't cost any more, but the key is you click through our links. Also, make sure you're shopping MyPillow.com
Yes.
for all your betting-related needs.
Bed
Use
and
TDC code for the very best discount. That's TDC, like the Detroit Cast.
Hey, very good. Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Talked about him the other day. He got lumped in when
Uma Thurman.
When Uma finally came out and addressed, she'd finally the anger had subsided enough that she was able to crawl to the New York Times and give this really long interview to Maureen Dowd over there. And I think we all left that article kind of going, boy, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than
Definitely.
Given
Given
it was
her
like,
lead up to that. Like, I
Yeah.
am so angry. I will speak when I'm not so angry.
Yeah. And people really took issue with Quentin Tarantino. And everyone's like, well, boy, I thought they were going to go after Harbinger, And it's like, well, they would have. But, basically what she said was he laid down on top of her. She wiggled free, and that was the end of it. He apologized later. I'm like, it didn't have that graphic thing that would be easy to just like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was right, but it didn't have what some of the other stories had.
But the Tarantino incident did sort of have that graphic feel that people could latch onto. Like, holy shit, man! I mean, he put her in this position in this stunt, and she's mortally wounded almost.
Right,
going 40 miles an hour on a dirt road. What?
Crashed the car into a palm tree or something, and I think she still deals with issues from that, like knee or something. There were a couple other incidents that were mentioned in that interview too. I don't know if you read that, but apparently Quentin Tarantino was spitting in her face multiple times for a scene in the movie, and
like he would do. These Kill Bill movies are extreme. Anybody who hasn't seen them, extreme violence.
Yeah,
it's amazing how violent these things
gaudy,
are.
over the top.
It is.
Just
It's like
blood
they'll just show
everywhere.
like somebody with a samurai sword cut off a head and blood just spurting up to the ceiling. It's ridiculous.
Especially
over the top.
part one.
Yeah.
Part one was crazy.
And so the point of this article was to say that Quentin has some weird thing where he wants to take part in these scenes. So he would be the one that would spit in her face, and then they'd cut, and there'd be another actor that supposedly was the one who spit. He would be the one that like hit her with a chain and then cut it so that
choking her.
You're choking, yeah.
Yes.
It's like, why would he do that?
Well, he explains that in here. And so when I read that,
Once the shot done right, or?
Well, sort of. And, whether you believe him or not, he ended up giving a big interview to Deadline, and they wanted him to be able to respond to these allegations. And it sounds like he's like, they ask, like, what was your initial reaction when you read the Maureen Dowd piece in the Times? I knew the piece was happening. Uma and I had talked about it for a long period of time, deciding how she was going to do it. She wanted clarity on what happened in that car crash after all these years. She asked, could I get the footage? I had to find it 15 years later. We had to go through storage facilities. I was very happy to get it to Uma. Uma had people she wanted to indict for that cover-up. Part of my job on the piece was to do an interview with Maureen Dowd and back up Uma's claims. We never hooked up. And through mostly Maureen Dowd's prose, I ended up taking the hit and taking the heat. Makes it have a different feel to it, doesn't it? When it's like he's working with her, not against her. I started hearing from the production manager, Bennett Walsh, that Uma is trepidatious about doing this driving shot. None of us ever considered it a stunt. I'm sure when it was brought up, I rolled my eyes, was irritated, but I'm sure I wasn't enraged, and I wasn't livid. I didn't go barging into Uma's trailer. And he's like, anyone who knows Uma knows that going into her trailer and screaming at her to do something is not the way to get her to do something. That's a bad tactic. I would never react that way. I heard her trepidation, and so
I rejected it.
Well, what he said was
to sack up and do it.
I listened to it, and what I did was I drove the road. This one-lane strip of road with foliage on either. Is it foliage?
Foliage.
Foliage. Are you sure it's foliage? Because there's an IA.
I know.
Which makes me lean towards foliage.
I think I say foliage a lot, and people rip on me. But
yeah.
Go with foliage. Go with foliage.
Well, I don't want to make the room.
I think if you personally have ripped me for saying foliage.
I don't think that's possible. No, I just know as soon as I read the word, I knew you had hang-ups with it. So if you're more comfortable with foliage, I'm fine saying that.
Proceed.
So there's foliage on either side in Mexico. This is a straight shot. There's no weird dips. Uma had a license. I knew she was a shit driver, but she had a license. When I was all finished driving, I was happy thinking she could totally do this. It won't be a problem. So I go to her trailer. I'm like, Uma, it's fine. You can totally do this. Her response was, okay. It's like, that was it. Uma goes off to get ready. I go off to the set. I arrive, and then a question develops. Hey, would it be okay if we had the car drive the opposite direction because the lighting would be better because it was the end of the day? You road tested it one way, the Deadline says. You road tested it one way, and she drove the reverse way. That's exactly what happened. I thought a straight road is a straight road. I didn't think I needed to run the road again to make sure there wasn't any difference. That was one of my most horrendous mistakes, that I didn't take the time to run the road one more time. She showed up, we did the shot, and she crashed. It's one of the biggest regrets of my life for a myriad of reasons. Can you elaborate? It affected me and Uma for the next 2 to 3 years. Trust was broken. As you and Uma had conversations recently about how she was going to present herself and describe her experience with Harbinger, it sounds like you were an accomplice in helping her tell her story to the Times. I was absolutely being her accomplice, talking through it with her, working my own memory, figuring out the timeline, even as to when the assault happened. And so, anyways, he goes on here and says his girlfriend at the time, Mira Sorvino, had a similar story, was assaulted by Harbinger, and so he and then Uma's story, and so he went to Harvey and said something, about Mira Sorvino, and then when he heard the Uma thing, he went to talk to Harvey again. And was like, dude, you got to make this right. If we're gonna do Kill Bill, this movie with Uma, me, and your company, you've got to apologize to her. And so Harvey starts doing this, it was a little different than she said. She said this. And he's like, I don't want to hear it. I know her well enough to know that you're full of shit right now. And so you're going to have to make this right with her. She's going to have to accept your apology, or we're not going to do this movie. And apparently they did. He apologized. And then they talk about him, choking her and all that, trying to get this shot. The spit one, though, was kind of interesting. The wording in the article, Uma says that in Kill Bill, Tarantino had done the honors with some of the sadistic flourishes himself, spitting in her face. There seems to be a subtext of not treating women the way that they deserve to be treated. So that's where this is coming from. It was a two-shot, and Michael Madsen spat in her face. There probably wouldn't be an issue. If he had, it probably wouldn't have been an issue, but that wasn't the shot. The shot was Michael Madsen had snuff juice. You can see him spit out a stream of snuff juice, cut to Uma's face on the ground, and you see it hit her. Naturally, I did it. Who else is going to do it? A grip? I talked to Uma, and I said, look, I've got to kind of commit to doing this to you. Now, I love Michael. He's a terrific actor, but I didn't trust him with this kind of intricate work of nailing this. So the idea is I'm doing it. I'm taking responsibility. Also, I'm the director, so I can kind of art direct this spit. I know where I want it to land. I'm right next to the camera, so boom, I do it. Now, if I screw up and keep missing, once we get to that third one, if she doesn't want to do it anymore, well, that's on me. Frankly, if I asked an actor, a grip, a stunt guy, can you spit in Uma's face for this shot? They're going to be so intimidated, they're going to fuck it up. So, did you buy that?
Too intricate for Madsen. I guess I sort of buy the idea that it is spitting is. If he's looking for a certain spit, he's envisioning something.
It sounds like dip spit. It's one of those.
Yeah. I suppose if he has in his head where he wants it to land, how thick he wants it to be, whether he wants to be a loogie, there's a lot that goes into spit, Mike.
And if he's, if Madsen's shot is over here and Uma's laying on the ground here and he's got the camera and he's standing there, I mean, it would be easier just to spit down on her, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like they would have rigs that could do that. You know what I mean? That you wouldn't actually have to spit in her face, but whatever.
Like mix something up in a cup and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me and Uma had our issues about the crash. She blamed me for the crash. She had every right to blame me. I didn't mean to do it. I talked her into getting in the car. I assured her the road was safe, and it wasn't. How are you dealing with the reaction since the article came out? I've tried not to dive into the reaction too desperately. It seemed the reactions were kind of hysterical. Really? That's what happens nowadays, Quentin. I didn't think the New York Times piece was absolutely horrible. It was all the other articles extrapolating from what they thought the New York Times piece was saying.
Yeah.
And I get that. Everyone picks it up and runs with it. Public enemy #1 then on Twitter for 2 days. Yeah, it's a weird place we're in.
Hey, you have an annual physical. Make sure you're healthy. What do you do to make sure you remain financially fit? Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Call today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark. E, would you like to take part in the show for a moment?
If I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Wow, he didn't fuck that up.
Yeah, not at all.
Amazing.
Actually, E hasn't been much of a player on the show for the last couple days.
Yeah, I know.
There's been some stewing. There's been some other
I've
things.
had friend listeners honestly text me on numerous occasions. Go, yep, 10 minutes in, hasn't said a word. Why do you even have that guy on the show? I don't know.
Okay, that's not true at all, man. I talk. I get yelled at if I talk and I mumble through something or have an opinion that's already been said, and if I
rightly so,
if I be quiet during a thing that I feel like I can't
bring something useful.
When I think I do, I say something.
He did have something happen over the weekend that we have not talked about. I have not got the story.
Do we have a hooker story?
I don't think it's a hooker story, but I think it's an update maybe on a previous story. E, do I have that right?
I guess that's the way of wording it.
Please proceed.
You were up in Flint doing stand-up, correct?
Traverse City.
Traverse City. Oh, yeah, that's right. You texted me when you got to Flint. Sorry. So what happened?
No. Just if people were to recall, when this last year on Labor Day when I went to Mackinac, I hooked up with a kind of one-night stand situation with that girl that was staying at the same campground as me, and
did you close that?
Yeah,
he did close it. Remember, and then he went Pooh Bear later in the night.
Oh, that's
he had to go to the bathroom
because there was the
totally.
Yeah, So
the girlfriend in the upper bunk.
Sure.
Yeah. She turns out she lives in Traverse City, so I had been trying to like come up with a reason to get up to Traverse City where it wasn't just me driving up to Traverse City.
Sure. Which
luckily I was lucky to be able to do comedy up in Traverse City. And she came out, and it was fun, but like it turns out later that she didn't realize how young I was. And she said that when she found out how young I was, she was like floored. And it was just way too young for her to like.
39 is too young?
33. 33. I guess she's
how old is this
granny
bird?
Shit going, or what's going on?
She's 47. I don't know. That's all I can take is that's what she told me. So I don't really know. I mean, we still had a fun night. Her and her friend came out that night and we drank and we went to a few bars and
any chance that's just an excuse? That's not.
Maybe.
That's what I was thinking.
Any chance?
Maybe. I mean, but I just.
Any chance she saw you in the light? I was like, what? No offense.
I mean, yeah, no offense. How could I take offense to that? I don't think so. But
any chance she met you sober this second time? And no,
maybe.
No offense.
Did you have the plume when you first met her?
I did. That's for sure.
This could be it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. She just texted me the next day and just was like, "Man, when I just found out how young you were, I don't know." She said she was floored by it. She said
very tenuous excuse. It's bullshit. No, don't even read into it because it's bullshit.
It is.
She's
bullshit.
just telling him, yeah, not interested.
Do we have her number, E?
I'm not calling her. That's not happening.
That's a bullshit
Totally.
excuse, right?
Yes. Don't even break it down because it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's funny. I do where I have it. I actually brought one in. There was some hipster. There was some hipster doing photos at the bar, and there was like a Polaroid. So I have a Polaroid from us hanging out on Saturday night.
What do you think, Miguel? What do we have?
Yep, that's her.
Do you have a bikini shot or anything?
No, no titties.
I mean, from what I can tell, yeah, she's not bad, right?
No, she's not. I mean, no, and older than E, sure.
Yeah.
But I just don't buy that either.
No.
Like 33, 47.
She tried to tell me in text messaging. She tried to tell me. She tried, again, I mean, she could, just keep going on it. But she kept telling me, it's like, I've had guys your age hit on me before, and I've said no to all of them. She won't, I don't know.
Classic case of buyer's remorse. Classic.
Yeah. I mean, so what you're saying, Jay, is if he would have come
gross
big time before the Pooh Bear incident at the door, if he would have just hammered that shit home and really sent a message, delivered on his promise, and rocked her all night, then
what older woman wouldn't want a younger man who can really rock them, right?
Yeah.
It's just, it seems unreasonable. It's backward.
I
want an older dude with a soft dick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, E.
I know, dude.
She's trying to let you off easy.
I know. I tried to tell her.
Look at older man with a soft dick
I told her I was
and
into
4
older
kids.
women too. I was like, I
prefer that.
older women.
For that.
I've hooked up with older women, so I try to tell. I know, dude. I can't do it. I can only do what I can do.
Did you try to keep it going? Did you go?
Well, I will.
And
say,
how the hell did she find out how old you were?
Well, she saw me do comedy, and what she said, she came in late to the show. Like she was late.
She saw him do comedy.
No, she came in like only the last few minutes, and
saw him in the light. Saw him do comedy. She's sober.
Fuck you, but no. What was I going to say?
It has nothing to do with his age.
Well, shit. You got.
She just came up with that on the spot. It was, it's the guy.
Your age.
It's the guy that got caught with his dick inside a sheep, and the cops come in and they're like, "What are you doing?"
I came to wrestle some cows, and
I couldn't find any cows, so here we are. And it's like, dude, that's a terrible.
Well, I'll say what I say. All I said is the text the next day saying that, and then I kind of went for like. Well, yeah, because she's like, you're way too young for me. I couldn't date you and stuff like that. And I was like, well, dating? I'm not gonna date someone up in Traverse City anyway.
Get that shit
so I kind of just threw it out there. I'm like, what do you think about just friends with benefits? And then she's like, I
was really hoping I could just drizzle on your face really quick and get out of there.
As if I was gonna date her anyway. Like I'm not gonna.
I give him credit for taking one last swipe at it. In prior years, he would have been like, so I just walked away, and we'd have been like, dude, why didn't you go, well, how about I hit you one more time,
Yeah.
I mean, she's actually going to be coming down here with some friends in a few weekends, and I'm going to, they're going to go to a Wings game on Sunday, but they're coming down Saturday, and I'm going to hang out with them all day Saturday.
Why?
I mean,
a little young to hang out with them. I mean,
why? She might have, maybe her other friends are willing to.
She's going to tell them all about the Pooh Bear incident.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Who knows? You never know.
So
alcohol can happen again, dude. Drinking can still happen.
He's looking at this as like a real possibility. They're just people. Like he's like, well, she knows people, so Like, what do you?
You could go anywhere
and
just find
girls.
random people.
She knows other girls, and I fucked her, and so maybe I
don't know.
That's zero in.
I disagree.
That's almost more of an out than
Totally.
an in. Like you can go anywhere and find random girls. This one
has already rejected you. You've already banged her. She's not going to want you banging her friend.
And her friends aren't going to want to.
Don't waste your time.
Their friends aren't going to want to take her sloppy seconds.
I think, as usual, by the way.
Tell her and her friends are too old for you.
No, I think, as usual, you guys really play both sides of the mouth at times. I believe that if I said I wasn't going to do this, then it would be like, dude, I don't believe that. I don't
not in this instance.
I just don't see it. I don't see a possible in.
I disagree.
I call him back and go, listen, Golden Girls,
plus,
you guys are on your own tonight.
You know what?
Rose and Blanche, have fun at the game.
Plus, you know what, dude? I do just like having fun. I mean, why would I not want to hang out with some people and walk around Detroit on a Saturday with someone I have hung out with a few times and had fun with? Why would I not want to do that anyway?
Because she's completely rejected you.
So what?
She's shown. Okay.
I mean, I thought you didn't like being around girls unless there was a possibility.
Well, there's
talk about speaking out of both sides of their mouth.
There's different. No, there's always different circumstances to things. For one, someone living in Traverse City, it's one thing if I feel like I'm going to see them all the time, and it's gonna. I mean, I don't know.
All right, as long as you're fine with just hanging out with a group of people, because you're not hitting that.
A group of nanas.
And whatever, man. I don't even. Right. You're such a hypocrite at times, I think.
Me?
No, Mike.
Oh, me?
That's true. That's very true.
What?
Yeah.
What? This is shocking. This is a shocking allegation.
It's a shocking development. Hey, got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. They have 5 locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers. Most are brewed right here in Michigan. They have great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., half off appetizers on Monday. Check out all their specials at all 5 locations. Go to hamlinpubs.com for more info.
I will say some of the other response to that talking, I get yelled at every time I talk, so why would I want to talk? And most people just think it's the worst. But I would.
He's going back to 2 stories.
But
ago.
I would but I would say
when he was criticized for not speaking up during a podcast he's on until like the 10 to 15 minute.
Well, you know what?
I was show in the last 7 to 10 episodes.
I was not.
That's true.
Let
Go
it
back
be
and
said,
listen.
wherever this goes, if this turns into a big dust up in a fight because Jay and I hang on to it, you brought this back up.
No, the thing was,
let the record reflect.
Dude, I was sick last week.
Duly noted.
When I started talking, I was coughing a lot, so I didn't think that you would want me to.
You got me sick, and now you got Mike
everybody
sick too.
Gets everybody sick, and I don't believe that you guys knew I was sick. It wasn't like it was a hidden secret. But the point is, I was.
Just let it go.
No, the point, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to sit here and cough into the microphone. So yeah, you're right. I held back.
So you sat there, did your heavy production lifting over there during the shows, right? No, you let me do all the videos. You let me bing everything.
Okay, I can't do the videos. So if you
videos, I like to watch your videos.
Videos. Are you glad you brought it back up, E?
No, yes, I am glad. I don't have a problem saying it's ridiculous. There was an absolute explanation for why I was quieter.
All right.
He's been sick and ineffective. That's his explanation. Thank you, E.
Fucking Christ.
You brought it back up.
He did.
You're such a fuck.
Which one?
Let the record reflect. Which one?
Both of you are such assholes.
Which one of us is the fucking asshole?
Both of you.
Which one's a bigger asshole?
But when you just go, you're such a fucking asshole. I want to know in that moment which one of us is the fucking asshole.
It's important.
Both of you.
Damn it! Point to one.
It was
then say you
sharing
both.
it.
You both are fucking assholes. Don't just say you are a fucking asshole. There's
Plural.
2 of us here.
You guys, I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and have it say question why am I even here if I wasn't talking. That's on your guys' call on why I'm here. So I don't have to do anything as far as defend why I'm here.
Fair enough. Well put, E. Hey, did you see the Gronk got robbed?
I did, man.
Oh, poor Gronk.
I thought about that, man. These athletes, everybody knows they're out of town.
Dude, I know, right? I was thinking the same thing.
You'd think they'd have a pretty buttoned-down security system.
Yeah.
Their family staying in their house or something. Somebody house sitting.
This one sounds like an inside job to me. You know what I mean? Like when you hear multiple safes and guns.
I was thinking about that too. The dude's such a partier. That's his persona, at least. You know, he probably has these fucking ragers. And you're right. There's probably just one asshole within the group who weaseled his way into his partying crowd.
Yep.
And the whole time he's just looking like, oh shit, he's got a safe right there, right there. Yeah, gonna bank that.
Drunk as shit, bragging about his gun collection. Yeah, who knows? But I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often. You know, because like you say, everyone knows. Like if he's going to the Super Bowl, it's like that dude's out of town, not for the weekend. That guy's out of town for like a week at least.
Sure.
So they said that the looters had a full week to try and access his home. The culprit or culprits responsible did not have an easy task getting in there. I guess he's got a wrought iron gate with a like 10-foot high, gate.
You'd think he'd have like
there.
10 attack dogs or some shit.
Yes. And then they say there's no visible signs of forced entry. So it's like, dude, someone knew where he put his key, to like get in there or something. The Chief Baker would not say if there was a security system in the home or if there was any surveillance video. I guarantee you there is. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what undid, what's his name, the other tight end for the Patriots.
Oh, yeah, Hernandez.
Aaron, when he had the security, cams in his house and they caught him coming in with his own gun, trying to stash it.
And you talk about Hernandez and Gronk. I wonder, Gronk, the big story in the offseason is he going to come back? Has he just had this injury-riddled career and he's looking at... Somebody...
He's 29.
Somebody looked up his income, though. He has like $150 million banked. This dude apparently publicly is always like, I'm just living off my my sponsorship stuff. I'm banking everything I make in football.
No kidding. I heard people talking about how he hadn't really landed the mega deal yet. Like,
but he's
in line.
Apparently,
for
very
one
good
of
with
those.
money, though. That's what Jay was just saying.
I wouldn't peg that
I know.
in a billion
Last guy in the
years.
world, right?
Dude, honestly, if you said who in the NFL is probably the least responsible with their money, I would go, I don't know, Gronk, maybe? Probably Gronk. Yeah, Gronk, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
he's on
net worth
video,
of like 150, man. You can bing it.
Dude, he's on video, like, just hammered drunk and like spiking turkeys in grocery stores.
Dive off the balcony into the pool guy.
Yes. And he's always got an entourage with him.
Yeah, but you wonder, he was concussed 2 weeks ago. You wonder if he's just looking at this going, maybe I do get out now.
29, wow. Yeah.
Save my brain to the extent it's here, at least save it for drinking.
Dude, good for him. I mean, if that's the case, honestly, why not? That would suck to look at guys who have come before you, gross, I know, and see guys in their 50s.
Well, see Hernandez. See what happened to Hernandez and his brain. I mean, that's the most stark example right there.
Yeah, that's a perfect one. But that guy was such a fuck up.
I refuse to give him the out that's all CTE driven. I think that dude was fucking evil to the core.
But the more Junior Seaus of the world, where here's a guy living in San Diego with a family and fairly young, hadn't been retired that long, and he's willing to take himself out with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And Mike Webster, the horrible... Dude, reading those stories has to be tremendously difficult for these current players, knowing, well, shit, the game hasn't really gotten less violent. I mean, that's me in 20 years. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to look down the road like, they'll have a fix in 20 years. I'll be good. But if he's honestly smart with his money like that, because I thought it was a joke when he said that at the podium. Like, right after the game, he was like...
Why wouldn't you be back, dude?
Yeah, he's like, I'm 29 now, and I'm
Gotta
like,
reassess.
What? Okay, he's laying the groundwork to get some mega deal out of someone by threatening to walk away from the game.
Maybe that's what he's doing.
I'd still be surprised.
Jesus, any feeling on that? Would you like to contribute? Do you have an opinion?
I don't know. I said my opinion. I said that I heard he's good with money. I think that sometimes you look at these people and you think you'd be shocked. Some people, Steve-O from Jackass, his dad did all his money. And so that dude actually was always kind of had money, even though you probably would look at him and be like, oh, what the biggest fuck up of the fuck ups.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, but his dad.
Steve-O's dad was like a mega rich.
I know, but
Butler's private jets. Steve-O grew up in, his dad was like a CEO, the CEO of like Pepsi International at one point and like Marlboro at another point, like all over the world. So
yeah, but my point was, I heard that he's been very good with money. All it would take is to be smart enough to have one dude and say like, dude, really, I need a real good financial guy. Look at my money.
Need your buddy Merck.
Yeah, there you
that
go.
shit. LPL Financial.
I think E will be able to provide us some healthy context on this next story.
Oh, good.
That we should have seen yesterday, but some of the stuff. I mean, I didn't want to get into a lot of it. You knew Philadelphia was going to be a nightmare winning the Super Bowl. That was the first Super Bowl win for them. They've at least been a couple times, though.
With Ron Jaworski.
Ron Jaworski. Do you remember that Super Bowl?
Totally.
Super Bowl 15 against the Oakland Raiders. Do you remember what happened in that game?
I remember Madden being carried off.
That's right. Yep.
I don't remember like the circumstances of it.
It was Plunkett at quarterback.
Okay. Jim Plunkett, the only Native American quarterback in the league.
Good call. Is he really the only one?
Yeah.
Rod Martin had set a record that day for the Raiders that still stands today. He had 3 interceptions in that game. Yeah. Interesting fact. I don't know why I've always remembered that, but Rod Martin for the Raiders with 3 interceptions.
Well, the point is, there's lots of pent-up energy in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and Philly fans are kind of
support for the Eagles. Yeah, they're known to be pretty freaking nuts.
They're famously the ones that booed Santa Claus.
They embrace that very much.
They cheered when a motionless Michael Irvin lay on the ground, thought to be paralyzed at the time. I think that was the last play he ever played, and they were cheering for that. So yeah, they're known to be dicks, but and they went ape shit. They're flipping cars, spray painting cars. They collapsed a balcony, and then there was Philadelphia Big E on the scene. And Philadelphia Big E, do you have that,
that
video there?
Right.
You got it there. Decides, and E, you can give us some context of what this is like, because I've
maybe see us through this one, E. Okay, maybe play by play it for us. All right, play by play, kind of the thought process, what the guy is tasting.
I don't know.
So he's being egged on. The guy's being egged on.
I don't know what I would have been like in a social
Leaning down
media
toward
world.
a horse shit.
Yeah, there's a big pile of horse shit. Of course, the cop horses are out in force.
Eat it. Oh, God.
I don't get it.
He's just going face down.
Yeah.
Now he's gurgling it. Is he gurgling it?
Yeah. While wearing a Cunningham jersey.
E, is face down the way to go there, or is it better to pick it up and kind of chew off it?
Well, I would say that.
I think for demonstrative purposes, I think face down is the way.
I
not
disagree.
For me, man.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I'd be worried that someone in the pack would fall and plant your face into it or something, or try to like smash your face into the pie.
Here's my thought process, though. You can just take a little nibble.
Yeah, that's true.
Take a little squirrel nibble off that thing and then be like, oh, I ate it. Look, it's on my teeth.
It's on my teeth. Yeah, that's a good point.
But if you pick it up, you kind of have to,
Yeah.
Problem is the smell to me. For all the stuff that I've ever done, smell is really brutal. So that's why, to me, more taking a small hand and just putting it right in your mouth is.
And you've done this, right? You've done
eaten horse shit before.
Well, when I've seen E eat shit a couple times, and the one he tends to go rabbit shit he did with a bowl and I believe milk.
Yeah.
Is it milk and a bowl and a spoon?
Yeah.
Like a gentleman, and he just
kind of
ate.
reflective of like Count Chocula.
Totally.
Or Cocoa Krispies, that sort of thing.
Yes. Now I don't know how you ate horse shit. E, was that in a bowl as well?
No, that was
a knife. Or?
No, that was actually. I was such an attention whore, and just to try to get anybody to, I guess, like me, or in my opinion, this stuff would impress them. I don't know.
One liked me.
But but the time I did that horse thing, that Burley would get mad at me all the time because I would do stuff without cameras even around. I was just camping at Highland Rec with my buddies, and there was only one other group of some family there, and I don't know why I started babbling on about how I did all this shit. I was pretty drunk, and then I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll eat this horse turd.
Performing for a family when you should be in an arena.
I guess, yeah. And I literally just picked up a dry horse turd though, and just ate it more like a biscuit, a dry biscuit.
Oh, how much did you get down?
Half of it probably.
Just hay based.
Yeah,
right?
That's a good point. A lot of hay. But the smelling of stuff, smelling of stuff would always get to me. So if I were him, yes, if I were gonna make it the easiest to prove to the crowd I did something, I would probably just take a little bit and just boom right in the mouth.
I'm gonna go on
because
record
if you're going
and
like
say,
that, you're smelling it. And Mike's other possibility that someone pushes your face into that.
Yeah, thinking back on it, it's surprising someone didn't do that.
Yeah,
these are Philly fans, man,
dude, and they're surrounding him like that. I'm going on record right now to say if the Lions were to win the Super Bowl, E would be downtown. If the scenario presented itself and there was a pile of horse shit on the ground and people like eat your hat and they were live, he's drunk and he's worked up and there's a whole crowd around him cheering, eat the shit, I guarantee, bet he's life on it that he would eat that shit.
No, I wouldn't.
I think you would.
No,
I don't think you can resist a cheering crowd and adoring fan base. I don't think you can.
I can more now than I could. I was thinking about if the Lions had won, because I would have to be in the Philadelphia version of this. I will, if the Lions ever win a Super Bowl, I will be downtown. I will
wearing a Charlie Batch jersey or something,
doing something. But I don't know.
Like him in his Cunningham jersey,
pushing cars over and climbing up poles and
no, you wouldn't do that. But
they're grease polesy.
Right.
Nice grease pole.
Can't pass up a grease pole.
How are they climbing those, dude? How do you climb a greased pole?
I don't know.
Crazy.
It would be. I don't know. It would be an interesting situation for sure. I wonder how Detroit would react. I know it would be crazy. I would kind of hope it wouldn't be as bad as like the one video of them just like a food fight in a freaking
store.
They were like in a 7-Eleven essentially, and just throwing shit off the shelves. Like, what does that have to do with your team winning the Super Bowl?
I like the ones chanting through the street, "Fuck Tom Brady."
That's all right with me.
And then Big Dick Nick. BDN is a big thing right now. I was like, what is this hashtag BDN? It's Big Dick Nick.
Oh, my God.
For Nick Foles. Now, I don't know if they're talking about he's got huge cojones to be able to come in and play like this. Or
this
if
guy,
it's like,
I've listened to interviews. He's like this Christian guy and stuff.
Totally.
It's like, he portrayed as Big Dick Nick now.
Big Dick Nick. He's got his little daughter with her pink headphones on.
She's a cute Lily. Little Lily.
Yep, little Lily, superstar. And in the background, he's Big Dick Nick. While he's going, all the praise goes to the Lord above. Really looked out for me and the boys this time. This is my little angel, Big Dick Nick.
Oh, Lord! Lord, Jesus! Oh, Lord! Oh, Jesus!
Bag it. Hey, let's take a quick break.
Sure.
And then, boy, I'm not seeing a lot of reporting on the story of the Colts linebacker. Edwin Jackson who was killed over the weekend.
That's weird.
I mean, I see a story here, maybe there.
I see it on Fox News, but I don't see it on other channels.
No, it's weird. It's just bizarre. I mean, you would think, anytime someone's killed, it's tragic, but an actual member of an NFL squad during Super Bowl weekend, it's weird. Why isn't that not being reported? Anyway, we'll get into that more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroitcast, powered by DealsInTheD.com. Mike and Jay, and I wanted to once again thank the guys at the Debrief. Went over and did an interview with them last night, out kind of late, as they were recognizing the fact that we were about to hit 1,000 episodes of the Detroitcast. And so that was cool. If you want to listen to it, thedebriefdetroit.com, and about 46 minutes in is where
you got it.
Jay and I and E come in.
Or Mike and I, mainly.
Yeah. Mike and I. Jay and I. Jay and Mike. Mentioned before the break a story that's getting a lot of traffic. I would have thought, being the biggest day of the year for football, the Super Bowl, and having a current member of the Indianapolis Colts, a linebacker, a young kid named Edwin Jackson, killed by a drunk driver. I would think that would be a story that would be everywhere.
Yeah.
That would be
tailor-made for that weekend, right?
Yeah, a massive story. You know, it's not one of those, 3 months into an off season, no one's thinking about football, and he's not a superstar, and whatever. But right now, when they're desperate for football stories of any kind, to lose a kid like that, and I just could not put my finger on it. Like, what is it with this story?
What could it be
that nobody really wants to cover it? And they'll say, "Oh no, we did. We did a 10-second piece on that on a Wednesday morning at 3."
They
3
did. They did the story until they found out who killed him.
Yeah. The man accused of killing the Colts linebacker Edwin Jackson and another man, there was 2 men killed that night, is a Guatemalan immigrant who was in the country illegally and using an alias.
Now I got you.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh, I get it now.
So you only find the story on Fox News.
Yes, because they're racist, right? Manuel Orrego Zavala told police his name was Alex Cabrera Gonzalez when he was arrested Sunday morning after allegedly ramming his black Ford F-150 pickup onto the emergency shoulder and killed Jackson.
Yeah, what was it? Jackson was pulled over, an Uber driver. One of them was getting sick.
Yeah.
I don't want to disparage him, but I imagine it was probably Jackson getting sick.
It was.
Taking an Uber home.
Yes, which good for him. He's legally allowed to get as drunk as he wants, and the fact that he's taking an Uber home,
and he's avoiding the $150 hit by getting out of the Uber and puking outside the car.
Yes, it's a great point. It's very, very costly if you puke, and 1 ounce of puke of any kind hits the inside or outside of the vehicle.
Even a smithereenie of puke.
Yes.
150.
Jeffrey Monroe was the driver. I don't know if it was Uber. They just say a
Lyft,
ride share or whatever. So 54-year-old guy. The 37-year-old Guatemalan guy was driving without a driver's license, attempted to flee on foot. He had a blood alcohol level of at least 0.15, almost double the legal limit. He'd previously been deported twice from the United States, in 2007, again in 2009.
Get the hell out of here.
Indiana State Rep Todd Rokita said it should make all Americans angry. A twice-deported illegal immigrant is suspected of killing 2 Hoosiers, including the Colts linebacker Edwin Jackson. We must do more to get these dangerous illegal immigrant criminals off our streets, build a wall, put an end to illegal immigration. The accident happened about 4 in the morning. Nothing good's going to happen at 4 in the morning.
Get the fuck out!
He said one of the bodies was thrown into the middle of the road, and there was a cop nearby. Did you hear that?
Hit it, right?
And a cop ran over him.
Yeah.
Poor Trooper Ty Mays driving through the area, and he's like, "What the hell was that?" Yeah, he struck the body in the center lane. It's not known which body was struck. Jackson, for his part, signed with the Colts. Wasn't really familiar with him. Signed with the Colts in 2015, but didn't dress for a single game until the following season. In that next year, though, he's played all 16 games.
Did he really?
Started 8 of them. And then they were looking forward to him having a big year this year, and he had a season-ending injury during preseason.
And then he was killed.
He was killed.
Yeah,
so
it's not going to happen.
I don't know, man. These stories like this are so fucking infuriating to me, Jay. I can't tell you. My blood was boiling when I was hearing about this. And it's not because he's Guatemalan. It's because of the nature of illegal immigration being not seen as a serious problem. And it's like, I don't want to hear the fucking people that go, historically, these illegal immigrants commit less crimes percentage-wise than their legal counterparts. I don't give a shit. You know how many people, you know how many illegal immigrants in China are fucking drunk driving and killing people? 0! Because they don't let illegals into their fucking country. It should be 0.
One is too many.
One is way too many. Kate Steinle. Well, you know, he didn't know the gun was loaded. He picked it up. I don't care. I don't fucking care. He's not supposed to be here.
It's one of those things. It's easy to just look past and go, that's a one-off. Yeah, it happens once in a while. But when it happens to someone you care about, then we'll see how you feel.
Yeah.
Because that would be hard to get your head around. Like, wait, this guy wasn't even supposed to be here to commit that crime.
Yes.
That would be really hard to accept.
And then to see, you know, for, I don't know, our entire lives, basically, to see politicians, again, if you're looking for reasons why Trump was elected president, you could go through the video we played in Canada today, the assault from Trudeau, or you can look at 30, 40, 50, 60 years of talking heads. Harums, harums, harums. We need to do something. If I'm elected, we will fix it. Forever they've been saying it. For decades they've been telling us that. And if you look at what the American people want, overwhelmingly, this is bipartisan at its finest. Overwhelmingly, they want something fucking done about illegal immigration in this country.
They're not saying stop all immigration. They're saying we want it to happen
not yet.
Legally.
No, we all agree that immigrants made this country. Great. Fine. Illegal immigrants did not. And illegal immigrants are illegal by definition. And the fact that it's even discussed with our stupid politicians the way it is, that it's a talking point, stop it.
I heard deflection on this one that, you know what, this is a drunk driving issue. Like, no, man.
No.
It's a drunk driving issue if the dude's back in Guatemala where he's from.
I was going to say, in Guatemala or Mexico, this is a drunk driving issue. No.
If they even care about drunk driving there, I don't know.
I don't know. Last time I was in Mexico, I was able to hop the counter at the fucking pharmacy and go rifling through
Pick out whatever you needed.
Looking for what I was looking for. Senor Viagra? No, I don't want Viagra, dude. You know what? Can I come back there and show you? And he's like, yeah, si, senor, come on. Dude, think about that for a second. Think about what I just said.
Gringo behind the counter, rifling through.
That happened. I walked into a fucking pharmacy in Mexico and went behind the counter and started opening drawers.
And walked out with a handful.
Just looking for shit. Si, senor. Hope you find what you're looking for, senor. Incredible.
Why would anyone want to leave that country?
Yeah. It's not because it's a shithole. It's not all a shithole.
Seems so well put together.
By the way, can someone please, can we stop doing the story? You know the story, I guess today's big news is that the Democrats are going to release their memo on,
yeah.
You know, which I find funny because the Democrats voted 0 to have the Republicans release their memo, and the Republicans voted 100%. Release your fucking memo, dude.
Dueling memos.
Can we please get people who are talking about this story to stop prefacing it with, I want to be clear here. The fine men and women on the ground that are our law enforcement, these are good people doing hard work, and they're to be trusted and loved. Now, that being said, if there's a few bad apples, we all get it that not all FBI members and Department of Justice members, the day-to-day workers on cases, are not all corrupt assholes.
Let the record reflect.
Can we say that? Just make a bright line, and so we don't have to waste 30 seconds saying that every time the story comes up. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's driving me insane.
Yeah.
As if anyone's saying that we need to. Well, let's just set the table really quick, just to be clear. Ugh. Speaking of illegal immigrants, former Italian PM, Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi.
Love his work, yeah.
Berlusconi. He says a social bomb is ready to explode in Italy if they don't do something about the immigration problems they've got going there. He said he has pledged to deport 600,000 of these migrants if he's reelected. He says this social time bomb we've been dealing with is ready to explode, and immigration has become an urgent question.
Literally.
After years with a left-wing government, there are 600,000 migrants who don't have the right to stay. We consider it to be an absolute priority to regain control of the situation. When we're in government, we will invest many resources in security. We will boost police presence and reintroduce the safe streets. I guess Italy's a real popular like landing spot, just the way it is for people.
Yeah, looks like a boot.
Yeah, it does. So
hanging down there.
People coming across people making the journey across the Mediterranean.
Sure,
it's like the
you
first.
almost just run right into the toe.
You do. Yeah, I hate stubbing your toe too like that. Oh, it's just the worst. They keep stubbing that toe, and it's changing the dynamics in these countries, in Germany, in Sweden, in Italy, and so people are having a really hard time. Just like, I know we're not supposed to really say anything about this, but kind of miss my country all of a sudden.
My culture.
Do I not have a right to have a culture somewhere? And so they're having this debate. Like,
we do have lines that form a country, right?
I mean, like 10 years ago, we had our own country. We were doing our own thing. We got along with each other. And
now we're all just world citizens, I guess.
Now they just decided to open the borders and let anybody who's anybody in here. And those people aren't as nice as we hope.
But there's
they
only
would
one
be.
group of people that they're talking about. It's not a bunch of Americans.
Get him, E! Get him!
No,
Get him,
I'm
E!
just
Get
saying,
him, E!
it's
You
not-
clearly have an opinion on this. Go get him!
No, I'm just saying they're not talking about Americans. It's not people like me or Mike trying to get over there.
Who are they talking about?
Brown,
Get him, E!
brown people. Browns. The brown people. Ready?
The President of the United States is racist.
Some time travelers, as I think Mike sometimes describes it as.
Time travelers?
Well, being from
Cavemen in a time
caveman-
machine.
Cavemen in a time
You're talking about the brown people again. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. You know, I keep going down the rabbit hole, Jay. I'll be honest. I keep going down the rabbit hole, watching things and getting fucking fired up and worked up. And a lot of people in Germany feel like Germans just feel like they can't really say anything because of that whole fucking Nazi thing, man. We have to be
tough
nice
to get over.
everybody. Yeah, people still remember that whole Nazi thing, you know. Boy, killing 6 million Jews was a bad move. We shouldn't have did that. And now
there's consequences for our actions.
Come on in. We love everybody. Come on in. God damn it, Marcel. Come on into our country. It's a good country. Did you see the I don't know how I missed this. I think this was aired during the Super Bowl. The trailer for the new Rock movie.
I totally saw this, and I
Dwayne
totally
Johnson.
thought, like, Die Hard.
That's
like,
what I was going to play it for you.
Yeah.
Like, I saw it this morning for the first time, and I was like, "Are you shitting me? What are they? Did they just not call it Nakatomi Tower or whatever that was in Die Hard?"
Nakatomi, whatever it was. Yeah.
Do you want to play a second of it?
Clay, Bill Clay.
Clay.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, wow, he's jumping off a crane toward the skyscraper. I gotta see this, Mike.
Yeah.
The Rock.
FBI, show me your hands!
They made him handicapped too.
Oh, no, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Look at him.
See that?
Disabled people can save the world, too.
They can do anything.
Just a little nervous.
Nev Campbell's his wife?
What?
Don't screw it up, you know?
You have been preparing for this meeting for 6 months. You've got this.
PO5,
Let me ask you
baby,
guys a
PO5.
Daddy loves who?
Me.
Daddy loves who?
Me.
Exactly. Daddy's gonna go make that bacon.
I have a machine gun now too.
Ho, ho, ho.
Mr. Sawyer, is your family enjoying their stay?
Very much so. They're shocked. You gave us the entire floor.
After your security assessment, what do you think
Entire
of the
floor of a
building?
skyscraper for his family.
He's a glorified security guard.
Very
The
good.
Pearl is the tallest, most advanced building in the world. You've built a vertical city, but you've brought with it every single safety
Sweet-looking
and
building.
security
Hell
challenge
yeah, it
that I
is.
could think of.
It's like
We
the World
thought this
Cup
floor was
trophy.
empty.
Take that, Burj Khalifa.
Not only have you brought them all indoors, but you've trapped them 240 floors in the air.
Oh
No one
no.
really knows what would happen if things go wrong.
Oh, no, of course.
But I'm just a
Ford
glorified
foresight.
security guard, so what the hell do I know anyway? What's going on?
The 96th floor is on fire.
You're going to be just
What was
fine.
the
I
cop's
promise you
name that drove the car backwards in Die Hard?
Yeah.
You there, pal? Hey, pal.
Ugh.
Tell me, how much?
Ever since you said
Douchey
that,
dialogue between those two.
like I like
You know, just lighting a cigarette. Hey, pal, you out there?
you there, pal.
Yeah, I'm here, bud.
He's pulling glass shards out of
Dude.
his foot.
It's just douchey.
Dude, ever since you said that, I cannot look at those scenes the same. It's ruined it for me.
Just out of breath, you know, lighting another cigarette. Got the Zippo going.
Still there, pal? Hopefully we get out of this one day. Our kids can go on the swings together.
You got it. You got it, buddy.
Matters to me right now.
Yeah, this looks douchey, man. I don't know who sees this movie.
They say it's going to be the most expensive movie of 2018, and they hope that it's going to also, bring the most money. And I know they would say that about every movie. But yeah, that was, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is Die Hard. His family is trapped in a high rise, and he needs a cowboy.
I'm most taken by the return of Neve Campbell.
Yeah,
I haven't seen her since PO5. Although she was in some
scary movie or whatever, not another scary movie.
Is that right?
Well,
okay.
Yeah, she was in or Scream. Was it Scream? She was in the original Scream, I believe. She did a few things after PO5. Now, if you're talking about Matt Wolf or one of those,
something Fox and Wolf.
Fox and Wolf, yeah. Well, Fox was in Lost.
Yeah, that's right. He was the main character.
He was good in that.
Huge.
Jack.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm dying to see.
I'm not, for the record.
Yeah, I don't think I am either. But it's probably his last movie before his presidency starts. So
The Rock. I like The Rock though.
Yeah,
I liked him in Jumanji, as you know.
Yeah. Should we get to some email?
We do have some email, Mike. Before we get to that, got to mention hashtag TDC1000.
Sure.
Want to know your favorite TDC moments, and you can go ahead and hashtag those on whatever social media you're doing. Got a pretty decent one going on Twitter, I think.
Yeah. Yep. I want people to dig deeper than the obvious. I'm looking for ones that we just don't remember. Moments we don't remember. Everyone remembers Jose and those B, and Jay beating up E, but I know there are a lot of ones that we just don't remember, and I'd love to hear people chiming in with some of those. So
sure. And before we get to email proper, and you can email us at email@detroitcast.com. By the way, we've received posts, Mike.
Oh no,
post has dropped off since the summer has dropped off. But Tom writes in, hey, fellas, of the 50 or so postcards here at Harvard's Natural History Museum, this one instantly reminded me of Big E for some reason, probably because it looks stupid. Lots of smart MFers here. No hot chicks, though, just nerds.
What is that, a bird?
It's just a dumb-looking bird.
Look at that guy.
With some plumage. He's got plumage.
Yep, my nose goes down, yep. He's got a heck of a little beak there, too. He doesn't have eyelids or eyelashes, though.
Doesn't need them. Doesn't need them.
I know, but what if someone goes to poke his eyes out?
He ducks.
What is he called again? Did they say what he is?
He's a bird.
Yeah, I'm a bird.
Hey, Matt tweeted at me and said that he went to see Mark Leibovitz. He was so satisfied with his service that he didn't even kick Merck into the balls.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a first.
I went ahead and thanked Matt for supporting our sponsors.
Sure.
Indicating it's literally what keeps the show going. We really appreciate it, and we're glad you like Merck. To which Matt responded, halfway through our meeting, Merck literally goes, so, do you want some good dirt on the guys?
I can so see Merck doing that, by the way.
I've known Merck since third grade. Met on the kickball field mainly. I mean, we were dominating.
Yeah.
But
Merck's a hell of an athlete.
You've known Merck since high school, so he definitely has some dirt on us.
But we have dirt on him, too.
Yeah.
I mean, not the least is when his face exploded. Remember that? Like, I love that story of when you guys were kids.
He got poison ivy, and I went over to see him, dude, and he's like, yeah, it's getting better. And he comes to the door, and he looks like the damn Elephant Man. He's standing there in jorts, no shirt on, and he's just belly laughing, and his head is enormous. It's like, heed, trousers now. It looks puffy as shit. Dude, can barely see his eyeballs. He's just squinting, just laughing.
Is it safe to say that had that happened today, this would be viral worthy picture?
Oh yeah.
like if you snapped a picture of Merck in that moment and tweeted it.
It would probably been a good video because he was laughing about it and had a really good attitude. If you just snapped a picture, you'd probably go, "Ew, gross. What's up with that poor kid?" You know. But just his attitude was awesome. He's like, "Yeah, I can't really come out and play right now, but it's getting better if you believe it." Yeah, it was gross. Aaron writes in, random thought, I bet that kid, the Super Bowl kid, remember Selfie Kid?
Oh, yeah, Ryan.
I bet that kid was really shocked to find out that the show he was on was being televised globally. So if your phone shuts off, you put your phone down and look at the $30,000 Ultra HD broadcast quality camera right in front of your face. It will be replayed ad nauseum for the next week, and you can do a screen grab or two.
Yeah, but does anyone care if...
you got to think on your feet, right, man?
Well, nobody cares, though, if he doesn't pull his camera out and if Timberlake doesn't go, Super Bowl selfie. Like, that's... like,
yeah, Timberlake's probably moving on if he's not doing the selfie.
Yeah.
If he's unable to do a selfie, he's moving on to somebody who can.
What I want to know is if it was planned that, okay, if you're going to go into the crowd, someone's going to ask for a selfie, do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Noel writes in, hey, rocker podcasters. I just wanted to lay the show on you. The Worst Of, that's his band, and we've played a little bit of his band. I mean, it's pretty
heavy.
It's pretty heavy, man.
Yeah.
They'll be playing February 17th at PJ Lager House, located in Corktown, Detroit. It's a far cry from Marseille, but good tunes nonetheless. We were playing with Cold as Life, Detroit hardcore punk, and I Remain. That's EYE. That's wordplay, Mikey.
I like that. Yeah.
Doors are at 8, and it's $15 at the door, so check that out.
Cool.
And you can go to Facebook/The Worst Of to check our boy Noel out. He's a big fan. Big listener.
I think I saw him.
I don't know that I've ever met Noel.
Remember
He's
the
a
night-
long-time listener, writes in all the time.
Yeah.
I've watched several of his videos.
Remember the night I wiped
Videos.
out at the Comedy Castle? I tripped over the stair and
he was
fucking
there?
crashed through the doors, and I thought no one noticed, and then it was like, oh, dude, the whole room noticed.
Yeah.
It was a horribly embarrassing moment. I believe he was there that night. I believe he came up and said, dude, I'm from that band, blah,
Gotcha.
blah, blah. Yeah.
Mark writes in, 3 amigos had to pull over to prevent crashing while listening to number 992. 2 funny observations back-to-back. Pineapples in regard to swingers, 100% true. If while
How do
shopping
we
at the
not know
grocery
this?
store and you see an upside-down pineapple in the shopping cart, clue 1, they are a swinger.
Wow.
To be careful how I carry my pineapples.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've probably looked like a swinger to a time or two.
As being in the lifestyle for several years, it's a funny joke amongst those who know. Wow, Mark. Wow, okay. Number 2, changing your name. You are aware that there is a local county prosecutor named Luke Skywalker. Had his name changed to that several years ago. What the fuck? Yes, I am aware of that.
Yeah.
That's sort of why I mentioned
Smart.
I wondered if anybody would pick up on that.
Well, I've said that forever. Like, whenever I saw Scotty Bowman running for shit and I would see his signs all over, I'm like, it's genius. If I was going to run for something, why go as Mike Walters? I'm changing my name to Steve Eiserman. Who is not going to check Steve Eiserman in the ballot box?
For what it's worth, bona fide, verified accounts on those two subjects had to share. Keep up the good work, and please keep Eric off the mic. Well, he's doing that himself.
Yeah.
He's been taking a knee for a good 7 to 10 episodes.
Suspended himself.
Let the 2 professionals run the show. 100% voice to text, so please don't brutalize me too much. I'm lazy as fuck. No, dude, it worked out well. We've had some voice to text that are very unfortunate, but Mark, yours worked. Even your pineapple explanation was clear and well thought out.
I would agree.
Joe writes in, and he provided sort of a voice MP4, which I'm not going to play, but he wanted to let me know that you were very, very smitten with his watch on Friday night.
Wait, you got into it.
This is a guy that went to Hamlin, and he had a Green Lantern watch, and he was all over it.
I just really liked it. The color green. I didn't know it was a Green Lantern thing, but the color green on the band, I just thought was really cool looking.
I would have thought it was purple. I didn't think you had a thing for green.
I don't. In fact, I usually don't like green, but I liked it in that watch.
I would have preferred probably a Gleek watch more, but whatever. Potentate, Heavyweight, and Aggravate. Fuck. It might be the best one ever, Mark. Mark writes in with a C. That might be the best introduction ever. Potentate, Heavyweight, and Aggravate.
Wait. Say it, potentate?
I think that's how you say it. It's king or like ruler.
Heavyweight, and what was the third
Aggravate. Bonjour, fellows.
Bonjour.
From your neighbor with
Yeah,
an
it's
OUR to the north. Women in a man's world, this is entitled. My successful, career-driven wife has worked in the software industry and as a mid-level executive for 10 years, or has been for 10 years. It's a male-dominated industry, as you know, but that works to her advantage. Slimy, back-slapping sales bros clean their acts up when there's a female in the room. A trade publication asked her company to nominate a leading female for a series of awards they give out. This year, for the first time, they're focusing on females in the industry. Being the only female in her company, she was slotted in. I'm sure she was well qualified, though. I'm sure she would have been, been the one had there been even
Without a
2
doubt.
or 3 other women.
Yeah, it's not even debatable.
Mark, your wife is extraordinary.
Absolutely.
I'm absolutely sure of that. The application had a page or 2 of career-related questions, but the last page had me laughing. It's like it was written by a 1960s era Barbie doll marketing firm. And he's kind of right, man. I mean, this is the last page. Since Jay's a visual learner, here's a screenshot. It asks, do you love Instagram? Are you an extrovert? Have you climbed a mountain? Can you ride a horse? Do you like playing video games? Have you written a song? Have you studied abroad? Have you always wanted to be a teacher? Like, what kind of archaic, stupid
Yeah.
What are you going for here?
Yeah, I'd love to know what I mean, obviously they're going for something, right?
You know what? Some damn consultant put this shit together and probably overcharged, of course. I mean, that's what consultants do, right?
Sure, yeah.
Put this thing together and this will dive deep into the psyche of this person.
Sure. Well,
I mean, these 7 questions.
Yeah.
You can learn so much about a person. Do they love Instagram, extrovert, climbed a mountain,
Do you know
ride
how
a
to ride a
horse,
horse?
play video games, written a song, studied abroad, want to be a teacher?
That tells me that office is running really, really well. If the because no consultant has ever walked into a company and went, nah, "You don't need me. you guys got this. You guys got this. You are good." They have to find something. So if the best he could do was, most things look good, guys, but this 7-question questionnaire that you're missing is really the key to everything.
Anon follows up, of course, Anonymous, our friend Anonymous, who writes in from time to time, concerning the senior apartment follow-up. So you guys were on board.
I'm
you know,
still
you
on
were
board.
sold. It was
Huge.
$4,000 a month or something, but you didn't blink. You were like, everything's provided. I love this idea. I can have, buddies down the hall.
And
It's
let's
sort
be
of a
honest.
dorm room situation.
Let's be honest, Jay. We all agree. I'm not going to live long enough to actually go into one at the required age time, right?
So let you have this experience,
Can we make an argument, even if it's through the courts? I mean, would you be willing to fight that? Like, Your Honor, look at his lifestyle, his eating habits, his behavior in general. He's a sloth. There's no way he's going to live to 65.
Let's give
meet
him
the
this.
minimum requirements. Can we at least let him slide in there 20 years early?
Bend the rules a little bit. Get you in.
If he acts up at all, we'll pull him out of here, and he's gone.
Bangs too many chicks. Would you try?
Probably, yeah.
Try to bang it.
If that was the reason they had to toss my ass out of there, he won't stop banging 80-year-olds. It's just got to stop.
He'd be
Jay.
all over you, dude.
Dude,
because
I'd be
everything
a
you
young
hear
buck
about is
in
just
there.
how women are 8-to-1 men, and it doesn't matter. Henry gets wheeled in there, and they're all just clucking all over him.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the day I can't fucking take Frank in his walker, his tennis balled walker, and outgame him in a room with women, stop it. It's not fair.
Well, Anon continues, Jay, I need to clarify. It's an independent living apartment, meaning it's a full apartment with a living room, kitchen, bedroom, and huge bathroom.
Oh, shit.
The place has tons of storage, probably because they know people are downsizing. The kitchen is small, but it has stainless appliances and granite counters. It's sweet.
I like that.
Independent living means you can come and go as you please. This is getting better and better.
Yeah, I don't like
come
that.
and go
'Cause
as you please.
Nah, people are going to expect me to come and go, and I don't want that I don't need that.
You can paint the place, decorate it however you want. You can
Nah,
have a car. You can have a Proops.
No, this sounds good to you. I don't even like the fact that I have a kitchen. I want a cafeteria that I have to go to, and we all meet at a certain time. We have our 4 o'clock late dinner.
That's funny. This got worse for you. Like, she thought she was, like, selling it
No,
further. Wow.
no.
Yeah. You can have a Proops. They can also have dogs that come visit just so people can pet them. That's nice. Yeah. You can have guests stay over.
Whoa.
Nobody cares. It's your place. I'm telling you, it's slick. Anon. That does sound slick.
But is no one checking on me? I mean, I'm not going to see, like, Hazel in the hallways and be like, well, what up, Hazel?
It's like a dorm room, dude. I mean, it's a dorm situation. You can go down the hall, go hang with Hazel.
I can? Are
Yeah,
you sure?
Dude.
Because that sounded like
Go play Tecmo Bowl
townhouses.
with Hazel, whatever.
I just want to be, like, sitting in my room with the door open.
You can do
and
that,
as
just
they
like a
scurry
dorm
by,
room.
Be like, woo, what up, sexy Hazel?
Just like a dorm room.
What up, sexy sister? Get your ass in here. Get those purple panties in here, Hazel. My girl. My girl. Ever come sauntering back in?
My girl. My girl.
You're looking so damn hot in them polyester purples, Hazel.
They're practical as hell. She's got the orthopedics on, just
Hell
shuffling
yes.
down.
Yep.
Doesn't
Always-
even have the panty line. She's got the new Depends with no panty lines.
Always got some sort of a wrist guard on. Can't even tell you why. It's just there.
It's
What do we-
preventative.
What do we do, Hazel? I don't know.
Lastly, Steve writes in, Jay, I was concerned not to see the latest pod on my iPhone this AM. My morning was crap. Total crap! I did hear the interview on the debrief pod, so I got my fix, but please make sure to tweet notifications about emergencies like this. Worried sick, hope all is well, slightly concerned for myself tomorrow. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know, Steve. Steve, we actually did tweet something out.
Yeah.
We Facebooked something out. I mean, we did try to spread the word at least, like, hey, we're getting a little later start on Tuesday.
We were kind of morons about it. I don't know how you and I, as a team, Jay, didn't see the problem with the way we were doing things.
Yeah, we kind of fucked that one up.
Yeah, but whatever. We're
back on track now.
We're back on track. We're good. We're good.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
All right, very good. I guess, yeah, keep doing the TDC 1000 hashtag. Keep those coming. Thank you guys for being with us today. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll do it again tomorrow, and we'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.